Hello everyone, welcome back to the first match preview for Arsenal's 2025-2026 season. Previewing Arsenal's first game against Manchester United is the big one. It's the first Premier League game, and Manchester United, look, of all the fixtures to get, imagine getting Manchester United away as the first game. And to be honest, I'm excited. I'm excited for this game. In terms of the season, whether I'm excited is a different question, but for this game particularly, I am excited. Let's waste no time and let's get into it. And look, me growing up, I've always had this rivalry with Manchester United. I personally never liked them, and I'm sure my United fans will probably say the same to Arsenal fans. And the reason for it is just in London, there's too many Manchester United fans. There's Manchester United fans everywhere, and they're so deluded half the time. So you never really like them. But I always felt, for me personally, Manchester United is Arsenal's biggest rival. And that's why I'm so desperate and hoping Arsenal pull a win out of the bag. Whether it's a must win is something we're going to discuss later on in the video. Now let's talk about both teams. Look, both teams have been active in the transfer window. Manchester United have literally changed the whole front three. You got the likes of Mbeumo, Cunha, now Sesko. They have completely changed the front three. Also, on the other hand, we've only literally signed Gyoekeres and Zubimendi and Madueke, the only three players that really, Madueke, if you can argue, gets into the team, but the other two get into our team. So we really only signed two starting 11 players that get into the team. And this will be an interesting game. It's going to be a very interesting game to see how both Arsenal set up and Manchester United are. Manchester United are up for it. It's the first game at Old Trafford. After that horrible season they've had, they sure want to put an end to it, and they're going to be up for it. The fans are going to be up for it, and Old Trafford is going to be a hostile place. Arsenal in recent history, we've never actually had a good record at Old Trafford. Even when I feel like we're at our prime, we still could never beat Manchester United. We always either used to draw, or Manchester United always used to turn up. So our record against Manchester United, especially at Old Trafford, has never been the best. I think it's probably been maybe 2 wins since Arteta's come. So it's not really been the best. And even before Arteta, even under Wenger, it's never really been the best. I'm hoping the game on Sunday changes it. In terms of fixtures, we played Manchester United 3 times last season, okay? We played them 2 times at the Emirates and 1 time at their stadium. And to be honest, we beat them the first time, which you could argue we scored from a set piece. Second time, I don't know how we didn't win that, considering we had a penalty in the FA Cup and everything, and we lost. And the third game, so many injuries, and Manchester United really did turn up in that game. And some Manchester United fans will argue they feel that they should have won, and it's hard to disagree. They've had a lot of chances in that game, even towards the end. David Villa saved us. Bruno Fernandes almost scored. So this is one of those type of games. I am not underestimating Manchester United. Manchester United this year even have more of a deadly front three. So I'm sure Manchester United are going to turn up for this game. Now, in terms of both team forms, look, both teams in the last 5 games, including friendlies, Manchester United have won 2 games out of the last 5 games. Arsenal have won 3 games out of their last 5, losing to of course Villarreal and Tottenham. And for me, look, there is going to be a lot of pressure on this game for both teams, but particularly the pressure is on Arsenal, and I accept that there is going to be a lot of pressure on Arsenal this season, especially first game of the season, probably the biggest game so of game week 1. There is going to be a lot of pressure. Everyone will be watching Arsenal, and Arsenal will be under pressure, rightly so. 3 years finishing back-to-back second place. Now it's time to deliver, and every game is going to be under a microscope. Arsenal need to perform, and when you're coming up against a Manchester United team that finished 16th or 17th, yes, I know they have a different front line, but you're still expected to beat Manchester United. It's simple as that. When we're trying to win the league titles, when there's going to be a harder games compared to Old Trafford, this is a game that Arsenal need to win. Arsenal simply need to win. And do we have the players for that? 100%. Last time when we went against Manchester United, we came with a half fit team. You know, we had no striker, we had no Havertz, we had Mikel Merino playing up front. We had no Saka, we had no Gabriel. I forgot who the left back was. There was a lot of players missing in that game. And this time we're coming to the game arguably with our full 11. And there is no reason why Arsenal shouldn't go and win this game. And I expect Arsenal to go win this game. The thing is, like I said, our record against Manchester United has never been well, and it's going to be interesting to see how both teams set up. And for me in this game, I just want to see Arsenal play with clear attacking ideas. That is simply it. I do not want to be seeing Declan Rice play as a number, you know, like an Iniesta type of role. I don't want to be seeing him in Musiala type of positions. I simply want to see him the exact same way he was utilized against Atletico Bilbao in a double pivot. That is the way I want Arteta to set up the team. I want to see clear attacking ideas. And I think with this game, I think the way it's going to plan out, you will probably see Arsenal on the front foot and Manchester United on the back foot. I think Manchester United are going to be hitting Arsenal on the counter-attack. But regardless of the counter-attack, I think Arsenal have enough this year to go and beat Manchester United at Old Trafford. And I'll tell you why. Look, we have now Zubimendi into the team, and Zubimendi is going to be key for this game. the heart of our midfield. As long as Zubimendi, Declan Rice and Martin Odegaard are all on the pitch, I am sure that Arsenal will control the game. And it's really about getting all three involved into the game. It's really going to be the midfield that's one. And that is Manchester United's huge weakness. Manchester United's midfield is a massive weakness. And Arsenal, with their three midfield, need to take advantage of it. So I'm expecting the likes of Declan Rice, Martin Zubimendi and Martin Odegaard especially to turn up and take control of this game. Yeah, as long as we win the midfield battle, I'm 100% sure Arsenal should go win the game. We have as good as an attack than them. Arguably, you can even argue that we have a better attack than them. Defense, we have a much better defense than them, and we have a much better goalkeeper than them. On the basis of that, Arsenal should go win the game. And I know football is not played on paper, but when you're here in Arsenal's position, when you spend so much money, when you're here trying to win the league, and the pressure's on you, you must simply go win this game against your rival. And this isn't the same Manchester United we were talking about 10 years ago. This is a Manchester United team who are going through their rebuilding phase. And there's been so many times where when we were under our transition period, Manchester United used to slap us. Remember the 8-2s? This is our time to go slap them and show them how good we are, because this time we have all our players fit. There is no excuses for why Arsenal shouldn't go win the game. But the number one thing is, the only way Manchester United win this game is if Arsenal bottle it themselves. Arsenal cannot make any mistakes, and that is why the first 15 minutes is going to be crucial for this game. I can imagine Manchester United are going to come out the blocks quick. They're going to want to, launch balls up. They got Sesko up forward now. The crowd is going to be up there. It's going to be a very intense 15 minutes. But I'm sure if Arsenal stay within the first 15 minutes, they stay locked in, they close the gaps, and we storm through the first 15 minutes. And once we get the feel of the ball, once we start getting the possession, I am sure then we will take over, eventually go win the game. But I'm really expecting Arsenal, as the title contender this season, to go to Old Trafford and really lay the mark. If Arsenal go and beat Manchester United, regardless of where they finished last season, this is a much improved Manchester United team than last season. They have a whole completely different front three. And if Arsenal were to go and win against Manchester United in the opening day, that would be a stamp. That would show the league that Arsenal are serious this season. And I know there's going to be harder challenges coming across the way, but Manchester United always turn up against Arsenal. So if we go there and beat Manchester United in the first opening game of the season, I'm telling you, that's going to send a message to the rest of the teams in the Premier League. And the thing is, we're 100% capable of it. We're more than capable of beating Manchester United. But the only way we don't win this game is on ourselves. If we make stupid mistakes, if we start being sloppy and the main thing is, I want to see how Arsenal set up for this game. Is Arteta going to set up in the same defensive style football, the same cautious football we saw during pre-season, or is he going to change, or is he going to try the different style that we saw against Atletico Bilbao, the more direct? If we play through Manchester United, the more direct football, with that open midfield we have, the game is definitely there for us to win. But yeah, this is a game I'm definitely excited for. I do think 100% Arsenal have everything in the Arsenal to go win this game. We have all our players fit. We have just signed Gyoekeres and we have signed Zubimendi. So that should be enough to go beat Manchester United. Now let's talk about lineup and what I will go with and what I expect Arteta to go with. Now this is my lineup on the screen, you can see it. So I'm going with David Villa in goal. No questions asked, David Villa is in goal. Timber, right back, Gabriel, Saliba and Calafiori. Now look, Timber and Ben White is a toss-up between who really stays fifth. Ben White plays, I really don't have an issue, but I would prefer to see Timber play. The one thing that Ben White does offer compared to Timber is always one of those right backs or full backs, whatever you want to call it, that is always coming inside once. Ben White is the one that overlaps. So which one ever Arteta plays, I really don't have an issue. Gabriel, Saliba, no questions asked. And Calafiori, this is the main one. I want to see Calafiori play. I think Calafiori offers something different to Lewis Kelly. And this isn't me having a dig at Lewis Kelly. Lewis Kelly is not even a left back, okay? Naturally, his natural position is a midfielder. He's a midfielder playing at left back. And it just shows you how good he really is, that he looks like a left back. But one thing about Calafiori is that he's so different in terms of our fullbacks. He's like a fullback that can go on the inside as well as can go on the outside. And you saw against Atletico Bilbao, the way he was deployed, where he was constantly on the overlap. He gave Martinelli that chance and that freedom to come in forward, and that's where Martinelli plays the best, and he offers something different. And even Calafiori, you saw the positions he was taking up, and that's why for me Calafiori needs to start this game. In the midfield, look, Declan Rice, Martin Zubimendi and Martin Odegaard, there's nothing to really explain. Martin Odegaard, after a poor season he had last season, this is the season for him, and what a start to the season it will be. Manchester United away, you go turn up at this game. What a confidence boost that will give, not just to you, to the rest of the team, to the rest of the fans. And I'm expecting Martin Odegaard to perform, because throughout pre-season he's actually looked okay especially against Bilbao, who looked much better than he did. And now he has a striker in terms of Gyoekeres to target. Right wing, Saka, no questions. Gyoekeres, there's no point of even discussing it. Now, in terms of Gyoekeres, whether he starts is a different question. I am seeing, apparently some people say they want to see Havertz start because, of course, Havertz is used to the league. But for me, Gyoekeres is not a kid. This man is 27 years old. He is prime and ready. And I would love it. Could you imagine Gyoekeres playing against his former manager, scoring and doing his celebration? That would literally be the cherry on the top. And that's why Gyoekeres needs to start. Not just because of his celebration, but because of he's a top player. He has a top mentality. And it's about time we try something different. What's the point of signing a striker for 55 million if you're going to put him on the bench? Let's get this guy out there. He's not a kid. He's played enough minutes. He's ready now. He scored against Bilbao. So let's drop him at Old Trafford. Gyoekeres versus Sesko. Let's see it. Because they're definitely going to play Sesko. So why don't we play our striker? There would be a lot of pressure on him, but he understands that. At his price, at his age, he knows there's a lot of pressure on him to deliver. And I'm confident he is a player that is going to deliver. And left wing, this is where I try something different. Now, look, Martinelli played brilliant against Bilbao. But there were still some instances where I felt like even if he just put his head up, he maybe could have gotten another assist. And that's why I wanted to try something different. That's why I chose Madueke. Now, whether Madueke plays, I really don't know. I personally think Arteta will choose this exact same team, bar Madueke. I do think Martinelli will play. I think Madueke has only played like 45 minutes. So I don't think Arteta is going to throw Madueke straight in. I think if he believes probably Martinelli is more match fit, Martinelli is more match sharp. And look, Martinelli has been playing every single game in terms of the preseason. So I definitely think he will favour Martinelli. I do think we will probably see Madueke come on as a sub probably in the last 20 minutes to try something different. Regardless of the result, I do think he will end up coming on. In terms of injuries, we have, of course, Gabriel Jesus and Trossard. But apparently Arteta has confirmed that Trossard is probably going to be with the match team. So that's another option off the bench if things are not working. But look, this is going to be a very, very exciting game. And Arsenal, they simply need to win. A draw is not going to be favourable to us. You know, the pressure is really going to be on Arsenal this season. And every single result is going to be under a microscope, unfortunately. Whether you like it or not, Arsenal are going to be the most criticised team in the league this season. There is so much riding on us. You know, the way we've ended last season, no trophy, every result, everything is going to be hyper focused when it comes to Arsenal. And that's why winning the first game of the season is just going to be a big, big boost for this Arsenal team and the manager. Because if we go lose, God forbid, if we go lose, oh my God, the meltdown, the media, everything is going to be crazy. My match reaction, how I'm going to feel, oh my God, I don't even want to think about it. But I'm confident Arsenal can go win. The main thing is don't concede first. That is the number one thing. Because if Manchester United go score first, oh my God, that is going to be a long day. With the crowd behind them, it's going to be a very, very long 90 minutes. And that's why we can't make any stupid mistakes. They're probably going to come out quick out of the blocks for the first 20 minutes. We're just going to have to weather the storm. And then after that, you will probably see us get some confidence. We now have a striker. We now have a target man where when he drops to him, he will take his chance. And none of this sideways football. Let's see some direct football this time out. Let's see more risk. But yeah, guys, that's just my thoughts. Let me know what you think. Are you confident or are you nervous? Hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next.